What's up? What's up? I'm back again. I just wanted to clear up the spirit as far as when I say you got to balance the mind, body, and spirit. The mind is pretty understandable. Body, that's the most easiest to understand. But the spirit is kind of hard to explain or even just fully grasp in the sense of how to balance it. Because the spirit, really, bro, is beyond us in a sense. So it's kind of hard to just be like, oh, it's hard to say what it's exactly or pinpoint exactly what it is in a sense. I mean, what I started is just saying, of course your spirit is what you ultimately get attracted to and things that you like over time. Like if you like a girl, bro, it's because it's in your spirit. And this is where I'm gonna kind of like, it gets complicated because sometimes our ego, sometimes our mind be playing that part and being like, oh, I want that job, or I want that girl because she got the big butt or a nice car, or it's a job that's gonna take care of me. It's hiring. It got a good future. That's what most of us do. Especially like this is the best example as far as like balancing your spirit versus balancing your mind and your ego. Because with all of us when we was in school, bro, when we looked for a dream job or what we're gonna do to make money in the future, we didn't follow our spirit. We followed our mind and what was logical in the sense of, I can go be a nurse, or I can go be a computer scientist, or I need to be a business major, because those are the jobs that are constantly being, those are the jobs that had the what do they call? I forgot what they used to tell us. When you first start, the entry level position, how much it pays. Certain jobs pay a certain amount, and then versus the median, if you've been there 2 or 3 years, how much it pay. Like that's what we was going off of. We wasn't going off, did we really like this shit? Did this shit really resonate with us? Was it something I could just fall in love with? Like when I was talking to my homeboy Johnny, he was talking about what he was doing and shit. I'm like, bro, you sound like you're in love. Like most people talk about like girls or their parents or certain shit like that. They give aspiration like that, but he talking about just having a passion and motivation to keep going for himself. I'm like, bro, you sound like you're in love. Just how he was talking about it. And that's the difference. Like when you follow your spirit and mind, like when you follow your spirit, a lot of times your mind can't come up with any logical reasons to even do it. And I know I'm probably loud right now. That's a bunch of fucking cars passing me up. But that's the difference. Like when we was younger and shit, when we was coming up with what we're gonna do when we're in college, what major we gonna follow, we wasn't listening to our spirit, because most of the time when our spirit told us, it was either some outlandish shit, maybe do art, maybe do some shit that most people wouldn't say was what you could put a business model behind. And when you get older and shit, when you start watching these YouTube videos and shit, you always hear people talk about find something you love to do. Find something you love to do. Because most people in this world don't do what they love to do. It's something that they picked because it was either they felt mentally they were secure there or whatever, but spiritually they wasn't following that. Because a lot of times your spirit will put you somewhere where you feel vulnerable, where you feel like it's something new, it's a new territory where you don't really understand. And it's not gonna be security because you don't really understand it. Your spirit gonna put you in, take you out of certain positions or whatever. And a lot of people mind to go against that because it don't feel like it's security, or it don't feel like it's easy. It don't feel like it feel like it's gonna be hard work, which is every fucking day anyways. And that's how we go about life. We'll be like, I can build for myself, but it'd be so much harder. But every fucking day you wake up, you talk about how hard and how sucky your job is. That's the difference between when you're not really following your spirit and you're just going off what your mind or what your ego be saying. So that was my best example as far as understanding how to balance the spirit, bro. Because when you following your spirit, it's a certain energy, it's a certain vibe that you get. Like it's different than being at work and that mundane. I'm just doing this because I know what I have to do. And that's when you got to balance your mind too, because sometimes our mind get out of whack. In the sense of, for me, I'll be like, bro, I don't need this fucking job. Fuck this job. Come bigger than this job. Yes, I am bigger than that job, but at this moment, do you need it? So sometimes my spirit might make me disregard my mind and my logic because my spirit's so bright. I believe in my spirit so much. I'll be like, fuck this shit. And I put myself in bad situations. But I also learn, because ain't no such thing as truly bad. I put myself in those situations like, fuck it. I believe in myself. Some people, they don't believe in necessarily their spirit. They believe more in their mind. So they be like, fuck it. I'm going to do what's more logically right. I'm going to do what's logically sound. And that's the difference between, I guess, balancing the mind versus spirit. And sometimes, like I said, you do have to bring logic to the spirit, but it's not. It just like I say, I was trying to wait till cars pass by, but still, it's like you understand that your spirit is a leader. Your spirit is a guide. But that's after you work with it so long. Like you can go off your intuition, but it's hard to trust your intuition if you haven't really built. If you haven't really built, what would you say? If you really haven't built the trusting foundation, a relationship with your intuition, it's hard to just completely trust it. So that's kind of what I say with, what was I saying? Trusting your spirit. Like you can follow your spirit and understand it, but you'll have to go through a relationship with it over time to kind of understand who you are. And that's really finding yourself and understanding who you are. And that's just part of self-discovery, because your spirit gonna put you in shit. You be like, why? Why am I even doing this? Why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep leaving jobs? Why do I keep fucking with other bitches? Like, you have to understand your spirit. Once you understand your spirit, you can move a lot better. Because like I said, a lot of times our spirit is outside of us, or more than, or not, I wouldn't say outside of us, but more than our comprehension at the moment. Our spirit is way grander than, our spirit is infinite, basically, and our mind is limited in this moment. So we only have certain lenses to look at our spirit sometimes. So a lot of times we look at our spirit with restriction. But that's why I say you got to build a healthy relationship. Once you have faith in your spirit, once you figure out how powerful your spirit is, you can start putting yourself and testing yourself and going through certain shit. That's another thing. Johnny was like, bro, I know a lot of people wouldn't go make this move happen with the engine fucked up and travel all these miles, but I'm gonna do it. You can call me crazy, I might be, but I'm gonna do it. And it's only reason you're gonna do it because he have faith in his spirit, and even if he fuck up, he know he gonna get through that shit. We was also talking about people, I don't know if this necessarily tie in, but I'm gonna try to get to tie in, we'll see. But for the most part with people, they are scared of the flaws, and they're scared of not the flaws, they're scared of the possible failures. They fear the worst case scenarios in certain situations. And that keeps them from going into certain things, because what's the worst case scenario? And what also limits them, and what they don't view is, if you're not willing to risk the worst case scenario, you'll never find out the best case scenario. It's like hopping into a space. When I talk about everything has polarity, like even space has polarity. So right now, the worst, I can't really say what space I'm in, like what's the best and worst outcome of going into my space, because I can't really define it because I'm in it. But just to say, how would I want to describe it? Just to say, college. Let's look at college. That's a space you could go into. It's a university. You got to sign up to even enter that space. Once you enter that space, you meet new people, you learn new things, and there's a certain amount of benefit that you can get as far as college. And there's also a certain amount of negatives. You can get into debt. You can, so many different things. You can get sidetracked, become an alcoholic. There's so many things. You can be a party addict. There's a lot of things you can get sidetracked because that's everything that space is included in. And then there's also, you can get a degree. You might get a good paying job. You might become like, it has a certain ceiling, which is up here, and then it has a certain floor, and every space has that. And like you said, call that positive, negative, heaven and hell, whatever. But to say what I was getting into, yeah, like some people be scared to face those certain fears, so they'll never ever find out what's the chances of understanding that heaven, or that the greatness that can come for that risk that you're taking. And that also goes through with your spirit. How strong is your spirit? Do you really believe in your spirit? Honestly. Because if you believe in your spirit, it's so easy to be like, fuck those risks. Because I believe in myself. I know I'm stronger than those risks. I want those rewards. And that's usually the people that get successful. They welcome failure because they understand the space that they're in. Failure is just another lesson, another teaching tool. So the more that I embrace failure, I'm damn sure embracing success. Because most people are scared of failure, so they never see success. And that's the loop they end up being in. They constantly find shit to fear, and they constantly never find success. And that's just, like I said, that's not necessarily what I was starting off with, but it still kind of ties into how to balance your mind, how to balance your spirit. And that goes into more understanding your spirit and where you at and how much you believe in yourself at this point. Like, some people's spirit half in, half out. Some people's spirit's fully in. Some people's spirit don't even want to touch it or even look. They don't even want to look at change. They keep their head down the whole time and just like, I'm gonna just work this job for the rest of my life, retire. That's my goal, that's my plan. They never look up to see if they should ever adjust that or change it or anything, and that goes to their spirit. And you can change your spirit, of course. You can train your spirit. Like I said, you can work with your spirit, and you can make your spirit stronger. But some of us are weak-spirited. especially when we were younger, we always weak-spirited because we was kind of learning, and we was in that place of not knowing. So it was natural to be weak. It's just like a baby. It's weak. It's natural. It's not something that's, you know, it's not the baby fault, nigga. It just got born. So, like in that same aspect, we was all weak-minded, weak-spirited because of, you know, just trying to understand and grow. And through time, I mean, some people stayed weak-spirited and kept getting affected by peer pressure and kept trying to stay on social and impress people. And that's where they spirit at right now. Some people's spirit, they decide to go hard. What else I about to say? Some people's spirit, what I about to say before I said? Oh yeah, some people's spirit is still weak, and like I said, they get easily peer pressure, easily do dumb shit because they spirit weak. And that's what they've been doing since they was younger, fitting in, not really following their own spirit, following other people's spirit, and their spirit stay weak.